Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy June, happy Pride Month. Also happy Dairy Month. I'm trying to think. I know June is Dairy Month, and I was trying to think if it was like national or international, but I think they just say June is Dairy Month. Um, but yeah, happy June. I can't believe it's already June, but I'm so excited because the weather in Michigan has been beautiful. Except we're supposed to get a bunch of rain now, but rain helps my flowers, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, we're just gonna chit chat and craft and hang out for a little bit today. I have a lot to do, and if you don't follow me on A Spark of Sam or Willow Star Market on Instagram, those are like my two main accounts. I did lose my cat this week, as in like passed away. She didn't like lose her. um, and it was after like a week and a half of a roller coaster of emotions of her not doing good and then her doing good and then her not doing good. And so yeah, I'm just proud that I'm showing up because I kind of been in a funk the last couple of days, and I'm like, "Do you know what'll get me out of a funk? Crafting and chatting and talk about books and all the things." So, let me know you're here. What are you up to today? Are you gonna be crafting with us? Are you just hanging out? Are you listening while you work on stuff? What's going on? I mean, I'm gonna be on here for at least an hour. I am pretty chatty, if you can't tell. Oh shoot, I should have double checked. Is my sound working okay? Because originally I had my AirPods in and then I took them out because they are on their last leg. And then so I took them out and then it kind of was freaking out like, "Hey, you don't have sound." And so then I had to like unmute myself and all this stuff. But hopefully you guys can hear me because I just have been rambling away. Yeah. So I have a couple, well, it's like the same thing, but different. Same, but different. Sorry. I talk in quotes and TikTok references and stuff, and if I just say weird stuff, I'm sorry. But I want to be painting. I'm either gonna be painting caps. So I have these baseball caps that I want to paint flowers onto. Um, or like on this one, I did HTV, which I won't do on here, but like I splattered painted it and stuff. So in 2 weeks, I have a in-person vendor market for my small business, Willow Star Market. Um, so I want to paint some hats to sell. And then I also have these totes. I have a lot. Oh my gosh. Um, and I have even more. I just picked one of every color. So I want to paint flowers on them. I might do sayings in HTV and stuff later on, but I didn't know what I should start with. Should I do a tote bag first or a hat first? I don't know how quickly I can paint and talk at the same time. I haven't painted hats in a year. Um and I haven't painted totes ever, which that's a flat surface. I feel like that'll be way easier. I mostly paint tumblers, which I've been working on a lot of custom orders for tumblers lately, and I don't like posting custom orders until the people already have them. So I feel like I'm behind on content, and then with stuff with my cat, I just have a lot of things started and not a lot finished. So I've been stressing about that. One thing I did work on this week though is these little tumbler charms. So this one's a little cassette player, and then it's got a little lightning bolt. And I have a bunch of different like tumbler charms that I made, which you can also put on like a purse, a tote bag. They're really just kind of like a charm bracelet version of, or they're like a keychain version of a charm bracelet or a charm necklace, which I'm living for. So I call them tumbler charm bracelets, but you can also put them on backpacks, purses, tote bags, all the stuff. I made a bunch of them, and I don't have any pictures, and I probably won't get them listed in my Etsy before my event, but I might put them in my Etsy stories, and then if y'all are curious and, like, buying one, I'll do it that way through, like, PayPal and stuff, but yeah, all the things. Like I said, I'm very chatty today, so we'll see how this goes. Um, Hi, April. Happy Saturday. I am so thankful. I mean, it's not, I work all the time. I have like no social boundaries with my work and all this stuff, but yeah, for everybody that has Saturdays off and you get to do what you want or it's a change from the normal routine, happy Saturday. Hey Beth, thanks. Well, words. I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. Happy Saturday. Happy to see you. I imagine today is both therapeutic and tough for you. Sending all my love. Yeah, and I'm the type of person that I just cry all the time no matter what. The first day was really hard, and then yesterday was better, and it was more of like a roller coaster. I just keep like that's the best thing. Like there's highs and lows, and that's just how grief is in general. A lot of you guys know that I lost my dog Tucker last summer, and I still get teared up about that, and that was almost a year ago, and, I just it's crazy how fast time it goes by. I say that a lot, and so I'm really trying to just focus on being present in my life as much as I can, but when I'm grieving, oh man, I doom scroll like crazy, and so I've been in a funk. Also May was Mental Health Awareness Month, and I don't know why, but I feel like it always tries to like test me. Um because mentally, I was struggling through the month of May, and then the stuff with my cat, I was struggling before that, and then when that happened, I'm like, "Oh, well, okay." So, yeah, I'm the type of person that I will, like, fall I need to feel my emotions, like, and if I don't, then I will be stuck there. So I need a couple days to just, like, process, and then if I don't start getting out of the funk, I will get depressed. And thankfully, I go to therapy and have a great, awesome support team with that. I mean, I have a therapist, but like my husband and everybody, like family and friends, they help me get me out of that funk. So that's why I'm here because I'm trying to show up. I made a whole plan for the month of June and I already was, like, in my head, like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna cancel sprints because I just am not up for it." But I'm like, "No, I'm showing up. It's not gonna be sprints, but I'm showing up." And I'm just trying to hold myself accountable, but also knowing my limits, you know? Because you don't want burnout, you don't wanna, like, just not feel your feelings. So, that's where I'm at right now. Thanks, Jeannie. I'm so sorry for your loss, and yes, we can hear you. I figured. I didn't see a bunch of comments saying like, "Oh my gosh, you're muted." So, but thank you. Thank you so much for um letting me know. Okay, good. I always wonder what the quality is like because it's just off of my laptop. Sound good. I'm hanging out while I make breakfast and getting my day started. I woke up at 5 a.m. with my husband and I actually have been super productive, and I think that's also like, knowing that I had these, I'm like, "Okay, what can I get done before I have to go live?" Which typically, I have the ADHD where I cannot do anything. Like, if I have one thing planned, I can't do anything because 'cause I'm like, "I need to focus on that one thing." It could be in the afternoon, but I struggled to do anything. So, I've been trying to retrain my brain that like, no, let's see how much we can do. And if I have to set a timer or something so I don't get anxiety about missing that one thing, then that's what I gotta do. Hey Katie, thanks for joining. Addie and I love our hats we got from you. Yes, Katie and her daughter bought hand painted hats for me last year, and I haven't made any sense in it. I don't know why. I feel like a lot of people wear baseball caps in the summertime, and then come like fall time, people don't want them anymore. So like I made them, and then the time came and went, so I didn't make any more. I wear baseball caps all the time. In the winter, I tend to not wear them as much, but both my husband and I are hat people. We have a ridiculous amount of hats. So that's why I was like, I just need to get back and make them again. And I love painting flowers on everything. And I did the hats last year. And now I feel like my skills have come even farther. So I'm like, let's do it again. I'm crocheting and drinking my coffee. Yes, I already got my coffee in. You're probably like, "I can tell." Um, so I am drinking my Liquid IV. Well, I actually I filled up my Stanley, and then I completely forgot that I already had a tumbler full. So I have, like, Liquid IV and then lemonade, well, like, watered down lemonade. I can't drink just water. Um, so that's what I'm drinking today. I did have coffee earlier. That's like the thing I have to drink right away. Good morning, Laura. Thanks for joining. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for being here. The charms are so cute and such a great idea. And I am a charm collector. I collect beads and charms and like little trinkety things. And then I'm like, "What am I gonna use these for?" Yeah, so when charm bracelets are back in style now, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna add them to tumblers since that's, like, one of the things I make a ton of." So, oh my gosh, so I'm gonna just keep talking if I don't stop myself. Okay, should I paint a hat or a tote first? Let me know. I need to figure out how to do, uh, polls. I don't know how to do that. That's something I should learn. Nope, I don't know how to do that. If you guys know, let me know, but I don't know how to do that on StreamYard. I don't know how to do it on YouTube either, but I'm on StreamYard right now. I'm obsessed with your painted flowers. Thank you. I feel like I've come a long way, and I still have a long way to go, but I am enjoying it. I love painting. Painting is something I feel like I can zone out with for the most part. So I don't know, it doesn't I don't feel, like, as stressed out when I am painting. I lost my dog a year and a half ago, I still cry and miss him, I think it's normal, I think. Yeah, I mean, my husband is completely different. He is, not gonna show emotion, I mean, he does, like, don't get me wrong, he chokes up about it and everything, but then he's like, "'Kay, we're moving on." Like, the next day so I'll tell you briefly of, like, what happened to so my cat Mary Jane had hyperthyroidism, so her thyroid was overacting, she had early onset kidney failure and a heart arrhythmia, which you're like, "Holy cow, that's a lot." Yeah, it is, but she was fine. Um, as in the only issue was that she was eating a ton of food, a lot more, and was losing weight. So we knew that there was something going on. We estimated that she was 14. We don't know how old she is. We kinda have, like, some tracking, uh because we adopted her from Matt's mom. She couldn't take care of her anymore, and she's like, "She's a really great cat. I would really love for her to not go to a shelter, but I just can't take care of her anymore." Because she was moving and going through a lot of life changes at the time. But she had had Mary Jane for a year or so, if not a little bit more, and she had gotten her from her friend, and her friend had gotten her from her son from Florida. So my little kitty came all the way from Florida, and I think that's the story anyways, and then Matt and I adopted her the fall of 2014, which we had her for almost 10 years. So we're guessing she's about 14, and that's what the vets, based on her teeth and everything, thought as well. So we put her on medication that was supposed to help with her thyroid issue. Well, it was helping, she was gaining weight, but there was one day a couple months ago, she stopped eating and she was acting really lethargic. So then, sorry if this causes any triggers for anybody. Um, so she was acting lethargic, but then, like, after 2 days of not eating, she started eating again and was fine. We took her to the vet and they're like, "Oh, this is just like a medication thing, so we're gonna rebalance out, we're gonna lower her medication and hopefully that'll balance things out because apparently the medication will help the thyroid but like hurt the kidneys, and so it's like trying to balance it." This is my understanding. We did take her to not our normal vet. I love our vet that we take the dogs to, but they are completely understaffed, and the quality of care they do give is amazing, but when we were trying to, like, get Mary Jane in, we couldn't. It was, like, a month out, and we're like, We can't do that." So, we took her to a different vet, and they were fine. I just I prefer our other vet. So, then, sorry, lost track. Like I said, I'm rambling all over the place. I had too much coffee this morning. So, a month went by and she was doing really good again, and she was coming to the end of her medication, so we were gonna have to get another prescription. Well, not last week, but the week before, the same thing happened. She started acting lethargic, and she started acting like she laid down and wouldn't move, wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink. You would pet her and she'd purr and she'd be talkative, but she like something was wrong. But it was right before Memorial Weekend, and trying to get your animals into a vet in a rural area before a holiday weekend is about near impossible. So, we called and we just it would just ring and ring and ring, couldn't get a hold of anybody. So we're like, "Okay, whatever." It was like a couple days and then but every day she would get like a little better, you know? And then after the 3rd day, she was great. She was doing awesome. Um, and then she was fine for a couple days and she was eating again. So we called the vet and could got in on Tuesday after Memorial. Yeah, my days are so off with the holiday weekend. So then we finally got her in to the vet who is prescribing the medication and everything, and I went in because Matt had been taking her, um so this was my first time ever going to this vet, um, and I stated, like, she wasn't eating or drinking normally for 4 days. Um, she was having all of these issues, but she's doing better now, but this has happened before, and I'm just really concerned, and he's like, "It's just her thyroid, her kidneys, and her heart. Her heart is having more of an arrhythmia, so it's probably making her feel not good, and then she doesn't eat and drink, and then it causes other issues." So they gave her some fluids, and I was like, "Okay." To me, I was like, I felt like more was wrong, but she was doing great. Absolutely great, was eating normally, drinking normally, all that kinda stuff. And then and it just so happened that Matt had that day off too, because Matt was like, "What about quality of life?" And he's like, "Nope, it's fine. We just gotta figure this out." So the next day happens, and I just happened to be in the kitchen, and she came out from taking a nap after eating, drinking, everything fine, and she was leaning to the side, and she couldn't stand. and then she was trying to eat, and so I picked her up because we have it on a table so the dogs can't get it. So I picked her up to be on the table and she ate. She ate normally, like, ate a ton, but she kept falling over. And I'm pretty sure it's vestibular, which is what my dog Tucker originally thought to have, and then Graham also had an episode of it. So then I'm just, like, instantly going back to, like, "Oh my gosh, this is," replay of everything that has happened with my dogs. That's absolutely, like, so scary to watch it happen. Well, with Graham, after a couple hours of napping, it went away and he was fine. Um, with Mary Jane, I decided to, like, just sit with her and hold her for a couple hours, and she's purring, she's, like, fine, minus the fact she's not standing normally. So, I just, like, was loving her up, and then after an hour, she wasn't getting better. She was getting worse. Um, and then I'm, like, full on, like, panicking, freaking out, and I call her vet, and it just rings and rings and rings and rings, and, uh, then I realized it's Wednesday and they close early on Wednesdays, and so I couldn't get her in, and so I had to call our other vet, and I'm just, like, sobbing, and they're like, "What can we do?" And I'm like, "I just think it's time." So, I had to go by myself because my mom was working, Matt was working, nobody could come home and just take her and say goodbye, but they did a really great job. I absolutely love our vet so much, but it was crazy because literally within 24 hours, we were at a vet and she was fine to 24 hours and putting her down. So, like, it was just she was not good, and then not good, and oh my gosh, it was just so frustrating, and I don't know. I just have an intuition with my animals, like, I can just tell when something's up, and when we were at the vet the first time, he was very positive, and I'm like, "I just there's something not normal, and I think there's something more." Granted, we already had spent, like, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on tests and all this other stuff, so we weren't at the point where it's like, "Okay, let's do more X-rays, let's do all that." So, like, we definitely weren't going to do more had they suggested it, but I don't know. I think it all worked out because I'm very thankful I was able to go to our normal vet to say goodbye to her. I don't I just the way they treated us with when we had to put Tucker down and the way they treated me with Mary Jane, it just I love them. They're such a great vet clinic. So, it's just been a transition because, it is so quiet. Uh, I know you guys probably didn't hear it a lot, but she was the most talkative cat ever. If I was on the phone or chatting with someone, they'd be like, "Do you have a kid? What's going on?" I'm like, "That's my cat." She's just a talkative thing. She also would follow me around. She would come and sit in, my chair over here. She would sit my chair here. She would come in my craft room when I would let her, because she did like to pee on things. That was her one little quirk that was a pain in the butt. But yeah, it was just a lot. Sorry, I just needed to get that off my chest, I don't know, and talk about it. I'm a type of person that I wanna talk about things so that I can move on from them, but it was a whirlwind of emotions, and I miss her, and now we don't have a cat, and I don't like that. I don't like not having a cat. I had a cat for almost 10 years, and now we don't have one, and it's just weird. Like, having one less dog was very weird, but now only having 2 dogs, going from 4 pets to 2, the routine is so easy. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, 2 dogs is the easiest thing in the world." But, yeah, I one day would like to get another cat. Matt is on the fence, but I'm definitely not ready right now. Hey Jess, going to walk soon, just saying hi. Thank you for stopping by. And she is the cat queen. She's got a lot of kitties and I love it. And I'm not the type of person like, yes, even though like seeing pictures of cats like reminds me of Mary Jane, I am the type of person that I still love seeing everybody else's pets and animals, even though I'm sad. It just makes me want to love on your pets even more for you guys. You know what I mean? April said tote. Beth said tote. I know. I could have gotten so much painting done. Probably not, because I multitasking, I'm either spot on or all over the place. I say hat first since you've been in a funk. Start with something you know for a boost of happy, then go with something new with the tote. I like that theory too. Hey Sarah, thanks for dropping by. I know it was a lot. I don't handle okay. I'm also a person that I get anxiety going places by myself, so having to deal with a stressful situation like that was not my favorite. Cause that was my one thing that I literally told Matt multiple times, like, I was like, "I just don't wanna have to put her down by myself," and my mom was like, "I have the day off tomorrow, like, let me know," and I just didn't want her to suffer anymore, and I was like, "Nope, I'm gonna be a big girl, I'm gonna do it myself," but it was not fun. Hey, Missy. I'm sorry, I'm, like, so sad, but I appreciate you guys being here. It seriously is very therapeutic. Um, I'm sorry, Sam, what a roller coaster. Yeah, and it's hard to be on social media, it's hard to create, it's hard to do your normal job, which I'm very thankful that oh my gosh, I'm so thankful that I work from home and that I was there right when it happened. You know, I was home when it happened with Tucker too, and so that's just something I'm incredibly blessed that I am able to be home with them because had they had to, like, suffer and potentially be scared and alone, I would've been upset. Like, I just spent the last few hours with Mary Jane holding her and loving her. I'm very thankful. Woo. Hey, sorry, I am all emotional. I really appreciate you guys being here. Don't worry, we are all here to listen. I appreciate it so much. I am in Texas right now visiting my daughter, 6-year-old granddaughter, and my 6-week-old granddaughter. Oh my gosh, that is so fun. I love that for you. Oh, my friend was has her newborn blah, blah, her newborn's home now and I can't wait to go meet them and 6 weeks old. Oh my gosh, how sweet. Thanks for sharing with us, Sam. Mary Jane certainly was a lucky kitty to have you. Thank you. Crying. I cry all the time, so just this isn't out of the ordinary. I agree with Elizabeth. Thank you for sharing with us. I appreciate you guys so, so much. But yeah, okay. I got that out of my system. I just like, I don't know. I like being transparent, but also like it's so hard to like be like, "Oh yeah, she struggled." But also it's like I know I've had friends who have had cats with the same thing and the vets have said, "Oh, they lived for years and years on this medication," and then they didn't. And I don't know. I never knew a lot about vestibular in animals. Um I knew about it a little bit, but not a ton, and now experiencing it, it's scary and it's stressful, and there are babies, and I don't know if someone can relate to it, you know, that's what I'm here for. Baby snuggles are the best. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I can't wait to get to meet her little ones, and it's gonna be so much fun. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Never be sorry for sharing. Well, I've been overshare. Like, my husband's like, "I wouldn't. I'm not gonna talk about that on the internet." And I'm like, "I will." Because you never know who's gonna relate from it. Like, that's why I talk about so openly about mental health. That's why I talk about just a lot in my life because you never know who it's gonna help and who can, words, who can, benefit from it. With that being said, I'm gonna do a tote. Just kidding. Okay. Now I'm torn again. You guys are like so the only thing with the tote is it's really big, and that's the only thing I'm scared about. But okay, maybe pick a color and then I'll be, because that was the other thing. I have too many choices. This is also my problem when it comes to like what should I be working on? Because like I have all these colors and I have all these colors. So where should I start? I also feel like I need music in the background, but I don't think you're allowed to because of copyright things. Uh People do on TikTok all the time, which, with that being said, I want to go live on TikTok. I am terrified to go live on TikTok. I went live on there years ago, and now it is so different, but I know how, like, rewarding it is to be on there. Like, I like being live on YouTube, but I don't like, I'm not monetized or anything, and I'm not monetized on TikTok either, but I just have more resources on there, which shameless plug, if you're a bookish girly, I got this off of TikTok. It's in my TikTok shop. So, I have a TikTok creator shop, so I share other products. It's kinda like the Amazon affiliate stuff, which I am too, but I got the Bat Boys. I got this shirt, and then it's got their, wings on the back and stuff, and I do get commission on that. And there's actually a couple things I'm gonna be using that I got from TikTok Shop. Ooh, it says my internet's slow. Um, One of the things I'm gonna be trying out today too is these grabby acrylic markers. It says that they work on fabric. Now, I don't know how washable they are, but, like, with hats and totes on things you don't really wash, I figured I could try them out. They're really great on paper and tumblers so far. I've really liked them. Honestly, all of Grabby products are really awesome. I have their watercolor set and their watercolor coloring book. Love. But that's all, like, listed in my TikTok shop if you guys are ever curious about that, but I do wanna go live on there, probably to just ramble like on here. Um, I like what Jeannie said. Yeah, my okay, so, like, a tote is flat, so it's simple because it's, not anything crazy, but it's big, and that's my only fear is, like, how do I wanna do that? So, you never know who might need to hear your story, so if you can and you're willing to share, it's my opinion that you should. Agreed, and as someone who struggles with mental health, hearing that I am not alone makes me feel significantly more validated, and, like, I don't have my own kids, um, my animals are my kids, and some people don't get that, uh, I get it. I am so attached to my animals. Um, that's what I was telling Matt. I was like, "Okay, when you lose a pet, like or when you have a pet, they, like, make your heart whole, but then when you lose a pet, they leave a hole in your heart." And I just I always joked about we had a geriatric, like, home for pets because all of our animals are older. I just am in the part of life where they are passing, and that part is hard. Um, but I am so thankful that, like, Tucker I had for 15 years. Like, I am so incredibly lucky to have him for 15 years. Mary Jane I had for almost 10. Graham will be 11 in October, so I've had him for 10 years, and Branson will be 9, and, like, so I've had them all besides Mary Jane, I've had since they were puppies, so it's just I don't know. I also have it in my heart that I really wanna foster, and a big reason I never fostered other dogs was because a lot of dogs are cat aggressive, and I just was not going to risk Mary Jane's life to foster a dog, just in case, and Mary Jane tolerated the dogs. It was not until, like, the past couple years that she actually liked them, and this was after living with them, like, the whole time. When we adopted her, I already had Graham, um, and she she did not spend a lot of time around the with the dogs until these last couple years, and then they were snuggling, they would rub up against each other. They weren't best friends, but they had come a long way. Um, or, like, if it came to, like, fostering a cat, I would also love to do that. Okay, sorry, rambling again. What hat color should I do then since we ruled out totes for now? What hat color should I do? Because I like them all for different reasons. It's one way to measure wingspan. Yes. I love it. If you haven't read the ACOTAR series, also I have the whole box set on my TikTok shop. I highly recommend it. Matt, okay, so Matt is on the like the last 150 to 100 pages of A Court of Silver Flames, and he refuses to finish it because he doesn't want the series to end. Granted, Sarah J. Maas is writing another book, but we don't have it yet. So Matt is just taking his sweet old time, and I'm like, just finish it. I'm a stepmom and a cat mom and will never be a biological mom. Seeing any of my babies struggling in any way rips me apart. Yeah, and that's where it's not everyone that thinks that way, that like you have to have your own children to understand. Like my brother Alex and I are 10 years apart, and people always called me his mom, but I was babysitting him, I was taking care of him, and yes, he's my brother and we have like a sibling bond, but I will always have like extra special protective bond with him too. Not that I don't love my other brother, but him and I are very close on the same age and we actually butt heads all the time. um and like I don't know, you just have like these bonds that you can't, compare. And I don't like comparing that kind of stuff. You love who you love, whether they're biological or not, whether they're an animal or a person, and they impact your life. And especially when you have a pet, like you take care of that pet every single day, or, I mean, for the most part. And then for so many years, like that's a lot. That is a commitment to one another, and Mary Jane was the best cat, and that's one thing I get, you know, worried about is, like, cats are temperamental. Yes, there's amazing cats out there, but Mary Jane was such a good cat, it would be really hard to replace her. So, that's where also, like, I get emotional about too, with all of that. Teal, okay, like this, the Tiffany teal, light lilac. Okay, it's actually like a light blue. It's kind of like a Bridgerton blue. The coloring probably is off, and I'm really bad at holding things up for a while. Ignore my inappropriate comment. I had to take a phone call and miss serious conversation for babies. Oh my gosh, Laura, you're fine. I showed off my shirt. And honestly, if that is not me, where I'm like, let's talk about something sad and then let's talk about something happy so that we don't get too emotional. And then let's talk about something sad. Ah, you're completely fine. Teal, y'all, this is my favorite color. Okay, we're going to go with teal. It's probably, what time is it already? I've already talked for 40 minutes. Yeah, I had a feeling. This will probably go over an hour just because if I get any type of thing possibly done, it's gonna take me a while. It looked like lilac in the lineup. Yes, isn't that weird how like when you put colors next to each other, it throws them off? I wish I had a lilac hat or like a light lavender. I'm gonna have to look for I don't okay, I'm trying to use supplies I already have, and, like, I bought these totes and hats years ago because I used to do matching hats, I would do a patch out of fabric that matched dog bandanas when I used to do that kinda stuff, so I have all these hats that I'm like, I need to just keep using what I have, and people still like hats. I like hats. Also, I will say I don't have the ponytail ones. Um, Back when I bought all my hats, they were ridiculously more expensive, and now they're a lot more affordable, but I still like these hats because I made sure to only get ones that didn't have Velcro because I don't like Velcro caps because my hair gets stuck in them. So I got ones with leather straps. They either have like leather or snapbacks, so they don't pull your hair. But yeah, I don't have the ponytail ones. If people want them, then I'll probably get them. But I'm gonna use what I have right now. Also, speaking of TikTok shop, I'm sorry if you guys don't like TikTok. I have Amazon ones too. These are the ones I have and I really like them. I got these erasable gel pens and I'm obsessed because not only do erasable gel pens work for like annotating books, especially if you don't want to make it permanent, um, planning, bullet journaling, because you can erase them, but they are perfect for painting or cutting fabric. So what I'll do, especially because I have like a multicolor pack, is I'll pick a color that's close to the fabric color. You don't have to do it that way, but I do. And I'll sketch out my design first with this, and then I'll paint it on, and then I'll take a heat gun or you can do a hair dryer and heat it up and it'll disappear. I learned this all because of April from 'Tis So Sweet. It has been life-changing, life-changing. So, I have some that I've gotten from Amazon, love those ones, but I also got these ones from TikTok Shop that have all the colors, and I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with pens and even more if they're erasable. Yes, I just I love writing with a pen versus, like, a pencil, and the friction causes it to disappear and game changer. So that is what's helped me a ton too because it's scary to paint stuff. And if you do like there's wash away fabric markers, but it's like how am I gonna how am I gonna wash like a hat? You can. I just don't want to wash a hat before I sell it. So hack. You can get them in my TikTok shop. You can also get them if, the other ones I use through Amazon, if you go to I think it's under journaling. I don't remember my list anymore, I have so many, but I love them, highly recommend. So, yeah, I'm gonna start painting. I don't know, what else do you guys want to chat about? If I would've saved some things to talk about. No, my garden is coming along. I have a lot left to do in my garden, and I was hoping to do a vlog yesterday, but that didn't happen. So, there will definitely I'm trying to do, like, my garden vlogs on Friday, so it's like Flower Friday. But sometimes I might have, like, crafty stuff in my vlogs. I might have, I normally have bookish stuff in my vlogs too because I listen to audiobooks while I am gardening a lot. Um, Good to know. I have a friend that sells heat erase pens. If they ever go out of business, it's good to know there are other options. Oh, well, what's your friend? I love supporting small businesses too. It's just sometimes it's really hard to find small businesses that have, like, these certain products too, but I also love supporting small businesses and would prefer to support them, um, but normally it's harder to find out. That's like and then or my thing that I am having a hard time with now that I've been in the crafting creator, community for a while now is I've seen so many businesses come and go, and so I have so many products that I absolutely love, but now you can't get them through the small businesses anymore, and it's like, what am I gonna do with it now?" Or, like, you have it and you wanna promote it, but you don't they're not available anymore, and that's just it's been tough for small businesses, everywhere. So, I know my small business is things are I am very thankful because things have picked up, and I'm very thankful for this event coming up because I know that will, um, help a lot too, but this time of year, it's like niche things really take off, and then trying to find, that thing to set you apart. Um, so I'm just working on lots of different things. I'm like, "What do I like, to do?" I like painting, so what can I do that on? The problem with painting is it's time consuming, so I'm also figuring out, how do I realistically make money, painting everything? So then I'm trying to do more digital stuff, which I am failing at. Uh I am really bad. I make a lot of stuff and then I, I just get overworked about like, oh, someone's not gonna like it, or it's gonna be pixelated, or someone's gonna say it didn't work, and then I don't do it, and it's so dumb. I just need to not care and just keep doing it. Impish Geek Designs, they're a sewing-based company and sell vinyl and fabric they have designed for them. Oh, that's dangerous. Maybe I didn't need to know that. I just dropped a lot of money on fabric too for this upcoming event. Well, and my events to come. Um, I'm not mad about. I have no regrets. So I just hope that I can make some money back and I can make some cool things that people want to buy. Um, but yeah, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. That's my other pet peeve. So I bought a bunch of stuff for it's not my pet peeve. This is me just being uh crabby. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I know small businesses can't they're not Amazon. We're not Amazon. We're like especially when you're creating stuff. But I have ordered some things from some big places and shipping has been so slow. Um so I bought a bunch of stuff for Memorial Weekend, and actually the small businesses ship their stuff out way faster, and it must have been a big shipping time because the post office and all of the shipping companies have been really slow, and I just want my stuff. I want my Happy Mail, and now it's all gonna come at once, which, I don't maybe it's just me. I like to get my Happy Mail spread out versus all at the same time. Even if I need something to complete a project, as long as I don't have a super small deadline, I rather it take I don't know. I just like getting Happy Mail, and I haven't bought a lot of stuff lately, so when I bought all this stuff, I'm, like, just waiting and waiting and waiting for it to come in. I don't know, it's been bothering me. I'm like, "Gosh dang it, I just need someone to get my Happy Mail to me now ASAP." Not even ASAP, I it's been a couple days now, and I'm like, "'Kay, anybody?" Um, so oh gosh, you're not gonna be able to see that. I'm sketching it out right now. Oh, also, I am a plaid craft ambassador. I have been horrible at it because, like I said, this month has not been going as planned, but I bought this all myself. But I love it. What I use is this textile medium and it will turn almost any paint into a fabric paint. So, you can buy fabric paint, and Plaid has fabric paints, but I love just having the textile medium because then you can mix it with all of your acrylic paints, um, and make it a fabric paint. So, there's a shout out with that. Um, they're a bag maker, so their target audience is more that, but they've been branching out since releasing the fabric. Well, that is right up April's alley. I knew what you meant. I ordered a t-shirt from TikTok Shop Monday, and it's out for delivery today. Well, I'm happy for you. It's so weird because sometimes I ordered stuff on TikTok and, like, the next day I would get it. And then there's other stuff that it's probably from China, so it's taking a while to get. This shirt came really, really quick. Um, I think this is a US-based company, or at least they use US printers for it. It's all a hit or miss. I okay, I'll also say in my TikTok shop, I try to do only things I have and from stores that have a good, um, score. It's a hit or miss. I mean, sometimes they'll have a good score and then the business goes downhill. It's kinda like with Etsy now, it's a hit or miss. There's so many people on there that a lot of there's some good places, there's some bad places, but almost everything that's on there, I have, and, like, have gotten stuff through them. And that's how I am with my Amazon too, if you guys are ever wondering. I don't like to just put stuff on there, and if I do, I will tell you, like, "I don't have this, but I think, like, I would buy it." I ordered a Bat Boy sweatshirt from Hot Topic. I picked ship to store for free delivery, and more than a week later, it still hasn't shipped. Hot Topic is like that. However, I also have not a Bat Boy, but I have a Valaris and, an Illyrian crew neck shirt from Hot Topic. I am loving that Hot Topic is getting into the bookish stuff. I'm not bad about it. Uh, but it's just kind of like my husband and I were very different people in high school, right? Like, he was, like, the emo rocker kid. I didn't have I felt like I just didn't fit in anywhere. I didn't have that, like, aesthetic. I was too scared to do anything too crazy. Um, I think the biggest groundbreaking thing I did was I would wear, um, a dress and then wear a t-shirt over it, not under it, over it, so it looked like a skirt, and then girls weren't allowed to wear skirts, so then I would wear my skinny jeans under it. And then I would wear cowboy boots. It was a look, man. But anyways, so my husband used to shop at Hot Topic growing up like crazy, and, like, had gauges in his ears, all that kind of stuff. Me? Hot Topic terrified me. Now, don't get me wrong, I liked Avril Lavigne, and I liked some, like, punkish bands, but aesthetically, I didn't ever get into it. And now, Hot Topic is, like, Disney, bookish stuff, and I shop there all the time, and Matt is like, "What has happened to this place?" It's so funny. Yep, I'm following them on all the things. Yay, April, new store to follow. We ordered a candy box from TikTok last summer, and it did take a while. It really is a hit or miss. Maybe it's because some of those are more side hustles for some than their main job. Yeah, and I know TikTok has, like, changed um a lot of their processing things now. Like, before, you had to, like, ship out, like, super, super quick, and then I think a lot of people were like, "That is unreasonable." So I don't know if they've changed a lot. TikTok has changed so much. in 4 years, and, like, the TikTok stuff is changing. I would like to sell on there eventually, but to me, it's just also one more thing to be intimidated by, but I do have, like, the creator shop, and I like it. I have found some really awesome deals. I have gotten my headphones for, like, 16 bucks, my over-the-ear headphones, and I love them so much. Um, and so I don't I'm digging it. It's like the new Amazon, but there's also small businesses on there, like, I got a blind date with a book from a small business on there. It's just cool. I like it. I love TikTok. I just am also intimidated by it. Yeah, I love supporting small businesses. Hot Topic has some Pocahontas apparel, and it's so cute. Well, like, I don't think it's, like, well, no, because they have Loungefly stuff too. Um, so I don't know if they're also, like the Her universe is starting to be more at Hot Topic. Honestly, I can't shop too much because um, then I spend too much. But no, I'm digging it. My husband is like, "What happened to my band shirts? Like, I've never heard of these." And I was like, "You're just old now." Oh my gosh, what did I just look up the other day? And I was like, "I wonder how old they are." And then Matt's like, "Oh, she's your age." And I was like, "Well, they're not your age because he's Matt was born in '91, but in March. I was born in '92 of October, and we were 2 grades apart in school because I got social anxiety, so my mom held me back. I literally wouldn't read out loud in school. I was terrified of it. And now I read comments online for a living. Wow, things have changed. But so Matt just always acts like I'm so much younger than him, even though I'm not. But there was someone and I was like, "Oh, she's in her 30s." Like I thought she was younger than that, but then it made me happy because I'm here for the 30s, living our best life. Definitely not the Hot Topic I shop for all the punk things. Yeah, it's really changed. I still like, I appreciated it before. It scared me because, literally everything scared me when I was a teenager. I just started rereading Fourth Wing yesterday to kick the summer off. I can't wait. I plan on doing more Fourth Wing stuff because if you guys didn't know, oh my gosh, I gotta freak out for a second. So I have said this a couple times now. I will be a vendor at the Dragon Gauntlet, which is an event put on by a co a court of rain and revelry. Sorry, my brain is getting all twisted up. It's hosted by a Michigan company, and this event is going to be at Boyne Mountain, which is an amazing ski resort, and I'm lucky enough to be a vendor, so I'm gonna do a bunch of Fourth Wing stuff, and I'm gonna be making a bunch of Fourth Wing stuff again. Also, they're gonna have Fantasy Fangirl podcast on there. I don't if you guys don't follow them, they're a podcast that, like, deep dives into well, they did Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, and now they're doing the ACOTAR series, but they've covered, like, all of SJM stuff, which I haven't finished Throne of Glass or Crescent City, so I need to get on that. However, so the sisters, Lexi and Nicole, are gonna be at this event, and I'm freaking out. Well, the company shared all the vendors or has been sharing all the vendors, and they shared me, and Fantasy Fangirls liked it. They liked my stuff. I mean, like, third hand kind of, but I freaked out. I screenshotted it. Like, they just saw my products and they liked it, and so I was freaking out. What a great way to kick off the summer. Yes, I actually plan on re-listening to ACOTAR first because I wanna do a very small ACOTAR drop before the Dragon Gauntlet, so I'm thinking, like, July. So I'm gonna listen to that, and then come the end of July, I'm gonna be Fourth Wing everything because the event is in August. Band shirts are at Target and Walmart now. They are though, and Target has some cute T-shirts too. They also have some Princess and Disney ones too because I've gotten some there as well. Sorry, I am so bad at this. I feel like I don't know what I want to do, but I do. This is also why I'm like, I probably shouldn't go live and try to work on stuff on TikTok because I'll never get anything done because I'll just talk. I want to read ACOTAR, but I've heard the first book is a struggle to read through. Oh, I disagree. I loved it. I loved the whole series. I 5-starred the whole series. With that being said, some people don't like the first book and they do think like it's a struggle, but I think a lot of us out there adored the whole thing. A lot of people actually don't like the novella. I loved it. It actually hit me. It felt like it was like written for me with the topics of like dealing with trauma and loss, and I won't get too much into it. Uh it just felt with the time of my life that I was going through that it was written for me and I really loved it. But yeah, I loved the first one. I can attest if anybody else has read it, let us know because I loved it. The whole thing, obsessed. It sits with me, obviously. I wear the merch. I'm obsessed, and my husband loved it too. He rated the first one. He's a nitpicky, like it has to be perfect to be 5 stars. He rated the first one like 4.6, I think. Um, so if that helps you at all. So exciting! I was fangirling for the fangirls. I'm so jealous. I need to live through you. I'm so excited. I hope I get to meet them. I'm not sure how any of this is really gonna work out, but y'all, I get to dress up. I'm a vendor, but they want the vendors to dress up. So you better believe I'm gonna try to make as much of my outfit as I can. And I've never been to like a Renaissance fair. I've never been to a themed event like this. So this is all very new to me. And my little like wannabe cosplayer is freaking out. I if you guys know, I really like Halloween because I like dressing up, but I get so self-conscious with like cosplay that I never really get into it. But now that I've done my toes into like Disney bounding and all that kind of stuff, now I'm like, maybe this is the step I need to take for more cosplay stuff. I'm just not really good at acting, but I like making pretty costumes. Does that make sense? I loved the entire ACOTAR series, even the first book. It was my first fantasy series. Yeah. Now, if you're an avid fantasy reader, you might be a little bit more critical of the first book, but growing up with Twilight and Harry Potter, ACOTAR felt like this was like my adult fantasy series that I needed. Like I had Harry Potter as a child, I had Twilight as a teen, and then I had ACOTAR now as an adult. Just a little smile for you. My kittens have been MIA all morning. Just went looking for them and they found a new hole to get into the box spring in our guest bed that we thought we fully repaired. Whoops. Yeah. And like, so I am kind of torn at, would we get a kitten? Would we try to adopt a cat? Would we adopt a kitten? Because part of me would really love to like adopt an older cat, but then that just, you know, you don't know what they're gonna be like. I mean, you don't know what kittens are gonna be like either. Cats just, I can read dogs. I can see like a litter of puppies and tell you what that dog is gonna be. Like, I just I know dogs a lot more than I know cats. So when we got Mary Jane, and the first time we went to Matt's mom's house to pick her up, well, when we went to pick her up, I had never met her before. It was the first time I went to Matt's mom's apartment, and Mary Jane, I kid you not, hopped up on my lap and would not move. She literally stayed there the whole time. And when Matt's mom was trying to like be like, "Okay, come here. I'm going to say goodbye to you and everything." Mary Jane sat on my lap and I we just she was my baby. She also loved Matt, she loved rubbing against his beard, but she would sit, like, on your chest or, like, right on your stomach when, like, I had my laptop, she'd be right on my laptop, she'd be right on my book, she'd always be, like, right in the way, but I loved it. I She would cuddle in bed, and if you didn't, like, snuggle with her, she would meow. She would lay right in between Matt and I, and she would have to touch both of us. Um, it was so funny, like, she'd be snuggled up against one of us and then, like, stretch an arm out to touch the other one. She just she was such a affectionate cat, which I feel like you don't get all the time. Okay, thanks for your input. Yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody to read it. I just try it. If you're scared about buying the whole series, then just, read the first book. But I bought the first book without buying the whole series, and then I gifted the book to April and bought the box set because I was like, "Nah, I need the whole thing." I loved it all. The novella was terrible reading it the first time, but listening to the audio of the novella made me love it. That's good to know, Laura, because yeah, you're like, "That was horrible," and I'm like, "I loved it." I I can understand why people don't like it, and it's a huge shift, but I also feel like it needed to happen for the next book. So that's why I'll always stand by it. It's my least favorite out of all of them, but I will still stand by it. Um, okay, I promise I'll get to painting. Oh my gosh. I talk so much. Matt is thanking you guys so much right now because this is what happens. He's gone all day and he comes home and I'm just beep, 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 and he is mentally exhausted. So you were taking this all of this like, jitteriness off of him, and I know he probably appreciates it because he's been very upset, like, and he unfortunately has had some people pass away the last little bit too that were family friends and like distant relatives. So he he's also been dealing with a lot of loss. So when I am like, I just want to talk about it, I just want to be sad, blah, 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 like all that kind of stuff, he gets overwhelmed. And so I just have to let him be in process. But it's hard for me because we grieve and process things so differently. So this is helping my husband. um We waited a few months after we lost our jelly bean last April and went to our shelter and adopted 2 instead of the one we intended. Whoops. We knew we wanted kittens or at least a younger cat. Yeah, my biggest thing about us waiting a little bit longer is that, um, I do have all of these, like, trips planned, um, throughout the rest of the year, and I have Matt and I travel a lot, and so it's like, do we get another cat? Matt is like, "No, we're too busy." I'm like, "We're not too busy," you know? Um, but it really depends, and that's why I'm like, fostering would be great because you don't have to keep them, you're just trying to transition them for their forever home, and I raised leader dogs for the blind. Branson and Graham were both career changed puppies from that program. Uh, Graham is stubborn, and I knew he wasn't gonna make it as a leader dog. And Branson is just a sweet boy. There's His critical thinking skills are just not quite there. So I was very thankful that I got to adopt them and keep them forever. But that's not what the program is for. And a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, how could you give up a puppy?" And it's like, well, it's going to a greater cause. Going into it, you don't get to keep the puppy. And so with fostering, to me, I'm already kind of used to that process. And then, hey, if you find your forever pet, you get to keep it. Like, bonus, like, to me, I think that's great. My dog thinks like a cat. She's too smart for her own good. When we asked her questions, she nods her head yes or no. I told her if she ever starts to talk, I'll freak out. That's wild. That's crazy. So Mary Jane was like talkative. You'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" And she'd meow, and you'd be like, "Oh yeah," and and meow, and so she would talk like that, but nodding. That's wild for a dog. That is wild. Um, I understand that a desire to adopt older and will likely do that next time we're looking to adopt. Yeah, I also I'm like, "Hey, I'm already used to dealing with the loss, so being able to give these animals their last little bit of life and make it a happy one, I would also enjoy." But then it's hard, like, that's emotionally hard too, so anyone that does that, I give them props to them because, you want your pets with you as long as possible, and sometimes that's just not reality. 2 is 2 is spread better than 1. They keep each other company and play together. Oh, I see what you're saying. Um, yeah. So, Mary Jane hated all other cats, and that was the reason she was rehomed so much, was because she hated cats. She would pee on stuff, she would pick fights with other cats, and we had, pet sat, some of Matt's family members' cats, and they were friendly cats. They would wanna, you know, hang out with her, and she would hiss at them, she would bite at them. She was declawed before we got her in her front paws, so she couldn't claw them, but she would start fights, and so, we could never get cats, and like I said, she tolerated the dogs. She really was not a fan of them until, 8 years of being with them. We almost adopted 3 because my husband was drawn to 1 we didn't adopt. I kind of regret that we didn't adopt him too. Aw. Sometimes, though, you have to know your limits, and I think that's where, Matt and I are at right now is, we would never have 3 dogs again. It was a wild story of, my grandparents Tucker was the farm dog, and my grandparents liked him being at the farm, so they didn't let me take him to college, so that's when I got into raising puppies for Leader Dogs for the Blind, and so I raised 3 puppies for Leader Dogs for the Blind, through my end of college and then early career, and then I got Graham back, but then my second puppy I raised, she made it as a guide dog. And then I had Branson. And when Branson went back to leader dog, that's when I asked my grandparents if I could finally bring Tucker to stay with me. Because he was like my dog, but my grandpa got him for the farm. But the dog, he was always drawn to me. So, if that makes sense. I trained him, I did everything with him, and that dog and that was my soul dog, right? And my grandpa loved it, but he just wanted him to be at the farm to watch over stuff. And then Tucker was getting older too. He was 7 or 8. So when Branson went back to leader dog for the blind for his formal training, then Tucker I brought Tucker as an indoor dog and he hated it. Oh my gosh. Transitioning him from an outdoor dog to an indoor dog, it took months for him to get used to it. And not that he wasn't potty trained, it's just he hated the noise. He Everything would stress him out. The dog had anxiety, just like his owner. um, so that was a learning curve. Um, so I brought Tucker back home, and then Branson didn't make it through leader dog. He made it halfway through formal training, and then I uh, got him back. So then we had 3 dogs. And I loved it. Branson and Tucker were best friends. Graham is the couch potato. He always is and always has been. And it was just a great balance. And yeah, we had Mary Jane too through all of it, which Tucker and Mary Jane never liked each other. Everyone now is like, "Oh, they're together. Just waiting for you." I'm like, "Probably not getting along." They didn't like fight, but if Mary Jane would be close to Tucker, he would growl, and then Mary Jane, um, she was a brat. She'd like walk up and then she would hiss at him. It's like, what the heck? She was so rude. Would never hiss at people. Never hiss at people, never bit people, never scratched people. And other animals, she's not a fan. I don't have enough self-control to foster animals. I love them so much. That's how I felt too until my second puppy I raised for Leader Dog for the Blind. I loved Cammy. She was a sweet dog, but she was so much more energy than I could handle. Like, the dog would just run and run and run and run, and I would take her for mile walks, and I would do, like, mental training where, I would, um we call them puppy push-ups, where you make them like, sit, lay down, stand, stay, touch, do all of their commands that you have to teach them, and the dog just wouldn't ever calm down. She was so much energy, and that's where if she would have failed, um, I probably would have taken her back, but she was one that I'm like, mentally, I don't think I could have handled her. Like, she found the family she was meant to be with, and I'm very grateful for that. I love to foster, but I would love to foster, but my husband won't let me because I won't be able to let them go. Whoops. And I think that's like yeah, I think you need to go in expecting, like, this might be a permanent thing or it might be a temporary thing, but always prepare that you might be adding more permanently. I figured it out. 2 is always better than 1. I'll ask my husband if he agrees with that. I love watching my girls play with each other. I think, like, with kittens or, like, younger cats too, that just is, like, so much better, and, like, that's how I feel for sure with dogs. I know when the time comes Matt won't let me talk about it. When the time comes with Graham or Branson, that I would definitely want to get a dog. Not well, maybe, like, right away, just so that the other one wasn't alone. So I totally, totally get that. Yeah, that's I love it when they do and they have a bond. Mary Jane wanted nothing to do with that. She she did not like other animals at all. It was actually funny because, in my Snapchat, I have my memories, and we were actually watching Matt's stepdad's cat, like, 7 years ago or something, and all my stories are to Matt, like, "Mary Jane's picking fight again," like, "Austin's just acting all chill, and she's being mean," and it's a good time. Okay, I am painting, I swear. I apparently don't have any of my super small brushes, so we will see how this goes. Sorry that I I just had a feeling I was gonna talk a lot today. I feel like I haven't been on lives very much, and then so much has happened that I'm like, I just gotta tell everybody everything. Everyone needs to know everything. So, super sorry about that. Um, I mean, hey, you guys say you like Chatty Sam. You're getting her today. So, I might try I actually don't love that green. The nice thing about painting too is if you don't like the color, you can just paint over it. So I try to do less in the beginning so that if I do need to cover something up, then it's not a big deal. Um, I also do have some chalk paint from a bunch of different places that I use too. And chalk paint, you normally don't have to add the additive to, but since I already have it out, I have been because, why not? Just double check to make sure it's going to work well for fabrics. I had to put my dog down. She was 15 and couldn't and wasn't emotionally ready for another, but my other girl got super depressed, so I ended up with another one anyways. PS, don't be sorry. We love hearing from you. Well, thank you, Jessica. Um, yeah, and oh my gosh, it's crazy how much dogs miss a companion too and how much animals get depressed. Um, Graham, I swear, knew that Mary Jane wasn't okay because when she came out into the living room, he was sniffing her a ton. And don't get me wrong, like even though they were friendlier, you could just tell that he was really like concerned. And so I had both the dogs say goodbye to her before I took her, and Branson just laid in like the middle of the floor all day, which is not typical of him. And this is one of the last pictures I got. But like this is when so she's standing here, but she wasn't. She was like struggling to stay standing, but Graham was checking her out, and then even, like, the week before, I have a picture of them together, and it just my heart. Um, so Mary Jane used to sleep on our bed, but because she was having a lot oh, I didn't even say that either. So she was, like, not even using her litter box, she was peeing herself in her sleep, when she wasn't eating, and that's when I was like, "She's not moving, and she's" all this stuff is happening. So we weren't letting her on our bed anymore, and she just like mobility wise, she couldn't get up on the bed. So she'd been sleeping under the bed, which she would do that anyways during the day. Um, I think she just liked how dark it was under there. So she was sleeping under the bed, and I had put like a little like pee pad and towel and stuff under there for her. Well, Branson normally sleeps in his dog bed, which is by the bed, but not under the bed, it's like next to it. Um, but after we had to put her down, Branson was sleeping with his head under the bed by her bed. And I'm like, but yeah, look at this picture of Graham and Mary Jane. Ugh, my heart. Yeah, so Branson has been sleeping with his head under the bed in Mary Jane's spot, and I know they miss her, and it makes me happy that they all got along like that towards the end too, because I don't know, you just like it when they get along. I felt bad that Tucker and her didn't get along, but it's not like they were like trying to kill each other or anything. Oops. Hi, Katie. How are you? Talkative and emotional. Just talking. Okay, so I lost my cat this week. I had to put her down. So I am emotional and all over the place, but we are just painting, chatting, talking about animals, talking about all the things. So, but I'm doing good. I am very thankful for all of you guys. The sweet big brothers. Yes. They I do love it. And I love my pets. They're my babies. And I love Branson and Graham. Graham is a traitor. He was my dog, and then I met Matt, and then he became Matt's dog. He was in training for leader dogs for the blind, when I got Graham. So technically he was leader dog for the blind dog, but Matt and him had this unbreakable bond, and then now they still that Graham is Matt's dog, and Branson is everybody's dog. That dog has no attachment to anybody because he loves everyone with his whole heart and soul, and I love that because he is such a happy dog. He's such a goofball. Graham is a couch potato. He literally does nothing until you take him on a walk, then he'll drag you for, like, a mile, and then You'll be lucky if he keeps walking. He's such a turd. The pet pictures, so precious, I know, and even though, like, a lot of the pictures I got were the next day, after we took her to the vet and she was supposed to be good and then she wasn't, I am very thankful I got that time with her, where I just got to spend with her and love her, and we got 1 more day, so it was okay. I'm so sorry for your loss. Having pets is so bittersweet. We never get enough time with them, never. Never ever. Like I said earlier, I had my dog Tucker for 15 years, not long enough, and that's a very long time to have a dog, especially well, like, border collies live pretty long, but he was like a 50-pound border collie. I mean, he was a good-sized dog. Um, and then Mary Jane I had for almost 10 years, which is crazy. Also, things that made me feel really old, not old, I just time, like, it just feels like someone has the fast forward button pressed. This was Graham and I 10 years ago today. Today. 10 years! So, I had just gotten back from my study abroad, and so Graham was, like, missing me like crazy, snuggled up because I was gone for 2.5 weeks, and then I met Matt. Well, I think I met Matt once I met Matt once before I went on my trip, um, but I was dating another guy at the time. That was a transition relationship. That was, like, really it was all because I was meant to find Matt. So, like, it'll be 10 years this summer, but well, the 10 years, the end of this month that Matt and I have been dating. That is wild to me. I feel like I graduated college, like, 2 years ago. I'm 31 now. Ah. What will you be painting today, love? I have been painting so much lately. It's great therapy. So, I'm painting flowers on a hat. That's what I'm currently doing. I love painting. It's so therapeutic, whether you're painting something or it's abstract. I love painting. I love watercolor, I love acrylic. What kind of painting are you doing? Because right now I'm using, a textile medium and acrylic paint and chalk paint, but I've been doing a lot of watercolor painting too. I was trying to get my dogs to sing "I'm Gonna Live Forever" last night. I did for one of Tucker's birthdays, I did "Forever Young" for Tucker, and it was so sweet. I was also very thankful for Tucker. He hit 15, so I did Taylor Swift's 15, but I did Tucker's version. That made me happy. I was very thankful I got to do that. Also, Branson in November will be having his golden birthday. Branson's my golden retriever. So I am so stoked to do something big. I've never had a pet have a golden birthday. Um, Tucker's birthday was on the 18th. Graham is on the 19th. So my chances of having a golden birthday are slim. So I'm very thankful my golden dog is going to have his golden birthday. I'm gonna go all out for it. I can't wait. And Branson's my little model. He's so like he's my pretty boy. He's the one that would model all of my bandanas and stuff when I made them because I think he knows he's cute. So he likes to pose for the camera. Tucker and Graham would do a good job, but um they just wouldn't tolerate it as much as Branson. Branson would let me do almost everything to him, and I just loved it. Aw, yeah. Time goes by so fast. I don't That's why I'm trying to be, like, present in my life, but then I feel like that almost makes time go by faster. It's wild. Does anyone feel like that? Is it just me? I know I talk about it all the time. I feel like a broken record, but I know, like, people, they say the older you get, the faster time goes. I'm like, "We don't even have kids." And time feels like it goes by super fast, like, faster than it should. Also, I don't know how I feel about this. I got the leaves on so far. I'm, like, just trying to trust the process. I really wanted to do I did a Tumblr where it was, like, wildflowers, stick flowers, so that's what I was going for this, and I don't know how I feel about it. I think I just need to keep going. I got a lot left to paint with it. Also, so typically I will put on music or most likely an audiobook when I paint so I can just zone out because you can see how distracted I get. And when I get distracted, um, I'm not very fast at it. That's something I would like to change. So maybe I just need to do this more often. But I do have an event in 2 weeks. So like this is something I have to do sooner than later. You know what I mean? Like I can't put that off that much longer. But once I get in a groove, especially once I pick out my color palette and I have a vision, then I can fly. But I don't know why. I'm like struggling with a vision right now. I really want to get like some cream or like taupe colored hats. I've really been vibing with that color, which is so unlike me, but I think it's just such a good neutral color that I don't feel intimidated about what would look good with it, you know? Because everything looks good with it and it's not white. White to me can be sterile. I'm a color person, so I think that's why been liking cream and like a light taupe. Like this looks white, but it's cream, and I'm obsessed with it. The headphones I got from TikTok are cream, but I kind of think that's why. I think it's because it's easier for me to paint with. Like this is white, and I like it, but I also am like really worried about it getting dirty or I'm like smudge colors on it. I don't know. So what's a golden birthday? I feel like I should know this. Okay, maybe I'm saying it incorrectly. Is it now, now I'm questioning myself. A golden birthday is when you're turning the age of the date of your birthday. So like my birthday is on the 19th. My golden birthday was October 19th when I turned 19. So Branson, his birthday is November 9th, which I also think is funny because I there's a book by Colleen Hoover, November 9, and that's Branson's birthday. Um, so he is turning 9 on the 9th. That's what is my understanding as a golden birthday. If I am so wrong about that, that I'm gonna be pretty sad, but I'm pretty sure that's what a golden birthday is. I didn't really know about it until after my golden birthday. It's more since, like, social media has been a thing. Keep going with it. Yeah, I will. I'll keep going. I just I think I'm just not I don't know. I need to do the flowers. It's a pretty neutral, but not stark. Yeah, I just vibe with it, and you can do so much. You can do boho colors. You can do bright colors. It fits, like, so many aesthetics. Because if you guys don't know, I struggle with aesthetic because I like everything. I like all aesthetics. Love watercolor, but I have been on acrylic lately in the phase where if I can paint it, it's getting done. But to be honest, when I am alone, I take forever to paint too. Yeah, I do, like, I'm not fast, but I am faster. Um, nope, it's Golden Bee Day. My pup has hers this year for on the 4th of July. I love that. 4th of July, what a fun birthday time. Are you gonna do anything special? I some people go all out for dog birthdays. I would just dress my dog up, give him some extra, treats, and take pictures, and especially as Tucker got older, I was very thankful that I did that with him, because because I had him back before I had social media. I had him back before I don't even Facebook probably existed, but I didn't have it. I was not allowed to have a MySpace, so I never had one. There's so many things I couldn't have as a child, that I missed out on, but my first pictures of Tucker, um, was like a flip crappy phone, and I still have those phones. I have no idea if I can retrieve the photos, but I know I would absolutely love it if I could because I haven't seen those photos in over a decade. I have heard it called Golden Birthday. Okay, that's what I thought. Golden Birthday coming. I love the picture of you from 10 years ago. His face is hilarious. That's his face. That has been Graham's face since he was a puppy. I named him Graham because he's my birthday twin. So I raised my first leader dog puppy for Leader Dogs for the Blind, and he had my birthday. And I'm like, how cool is that? And he was is the color of a graham cracker, and he has a little white spot on his chest. So I said it was this marshmallow on his graham cracker, and then it was Sam and Graham. I loved it. He was almost Walter, but I don't know. I liked Walter, but it just at the same time, it didn't fit him. He's just always been my Graham, my little graham cracker. Um, and so I got the name from The Holiday, Jude Law. Oh, I love Jude Law. um, so that's where I got the name from. I also love Lauren Graham from Gilmore Girls, but I didn't watch Gilmore Girls until after I got Graham. And then Branson, a lot of people think I named him after Branson, Missouri, but actually it's from Downton Abbey. The chauffeur, his last name is Branson. And um I thought it was really cool because had Branson been a guide dog, he would have been like a little chauffeur. So I thought it was a cute name. Okay, no wonder I didn't know about it. Mine was when I was 2. Yeah. And some people do stuff with it and some people don't. I just thought it was fun that my golden retriever is gonna have his golden birthday this year, so I wanted to do a lot of golden things. I don't know exactly what yet, but that's my plan. Normally, I don't do a ton for Branson's birthday because it's in November, and November is the start of small business chaos for Christmas. So, I plan on this year to make time to do it, and then Graham's gonna be 11. So old. I should go all out. She's definitely our little firecracker. I love that. Please do, or at least, do something, do a fun little photo shoot because that's so cute. And then you'll be like, we were just decorating for 4th of July. We're very patriotic. Aw, I love Sam and Graham. Yes, it is spelled Graham, which is also funny because then it has ham in it. And so in this dog, okay. So when I went to Leader Dog for the Blind, all of these little puppies are coming out and they're like these 80 cute little puppies. And they bring Graham out for me. And this dog is huge. All the other puppies were 9 pounds, not in Graham's litter. He was from a very small litter, but the other litters, most of the puppies are 9 pounds, right? Graham was 12 pounds. He was wrinkly and chunky. So we called him Graham Ham, and we still do, because he's an English lab, and English labs are a little like shorter and stockier, and they got shorter noses. And he's a thick short guy, which is also my husband. Matt's gonna be so mad I said that on the internet. So if you don't know, my husband is a short king. A lot of people think I'm like 6 foot, and Matt is also 6 foot. Matt's like 5'5". Uh, I'm like 5'6". So But I always say that, like, Graham and Matt are the same build. They're short and stocky. Yeah, so that's how you spell it. It's spelled the fancy way, the British way, because I had to be extra, but it's because he's our ham. I wanna take a speed limit birthday picture. I need to search out 35-mile-per-hour sign. That's awesome. Yeah, I am gonna be 32 this year. Um, so Taylor Swift has a song that's like 32 and still growing up now. So I'll probably do something with that, but I haven't picked a theme yet. Last year I did um next chapter because it's like the next chapter in my 30s and I'm really into my book era. I mean, I always am in my book era, but I'm like extra was getting into it. So, I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I don't know. Maybe I'll finally be in my mom era. I don't know. Sometimes I really want to have kids, and then sometimes I get anxiety, and I'm like, maybe it's just not for me. I don't know. With it all super deep, super deep things with that. Um, that's why I'm like, I'm just in my pet mom era, but I don't know. 2 pets just feels like nothing. We used to have a fish too, so I had a fish in college and a betta fish or betta, however you prefer to say it. I say beta. I had one in college and this fish lived forever. I had him for 6 years. I traveled with him. I put him in, like, a plastic jar when I needed to go home on the weekends because I didn't have anybody to, feed him. I would take him to different events because I was an FFA state officer and traveling a lot, and I couldn't leave him in my car. So he would come into events with me. Um, it was wild. I'm a fun, different person. Um, so I had him forever, right? Like 6 years this fish lived. And then I got 2 beta fish since him, and they all have only lasted a year. And then they would have, like, tumors growing on them, and I'm like, "What the heck? I swear I know what I'm doing. I had this other fish for 6 years." So I don't know if it was just a genetic thing or what, but I did have a fish, and I was very attached. His name was Finn. I was really into Glee, the show, in, uh, high school and college. So, his name was Finn, I know, so clever. Same, I can't figure out if I want kids or not. Since I'm not married yet, I don't I don't worry about it too much. So, Matt wanted kids since we've been engaged. Like, he was like, "We're getting married, let's have kids." And I don't know. So I get in my head, this is being super transparent. I struggled with my mental health very, very badly. Or I struggled intensely in high school. And through college and young adult, I struggled. And I just get so scared of what postpartum could look like. Also about if my kids would have that too. Wow, we're being super real right now. Um, so it yeah, it's a lot. Like I love the idea of kids, but then sometimes I'm like, I just don't know. And so that's something I'm working on in therapy, something we talk about. Um, and then you just, have good old biology that's just tick, tick, ticking with every year that goes by. However, my mom had my youngest brother at 42. So if you think it's too late, you never know. But I don't know. Matt loves kids, but then he also goes through the do you know what's also nice? not having to pay for kids. Um, and I just am dealing with, like, a lot of trauma in my life, and I'm enjoying life right now. So, we'll see, but I don't know. Now that we're having less pets and the house is getting finished and stuff, I have been wanting kids more. I just I don't know. I have so much I wanna do, and I also don't want, like, kids to prevent me from that. N okay, so, like, financially, like, kids would prevent things from happening, but I also wanna, like, if I become a parent, I want to be a parent that doesn't doesn't stop doing things just because you have kids. I wanna make it work the best I can. I don't know, it's just a lot, and I'm like, we're just, you know, living life, trying to figure things out. So much has changed in the last couple years that I try not to worry about what's to come and just deal with what makes me happy now, and maybe kids will make me happy, soon, but right now, I got lots of friends with lots of kids, so I can just love up on them. Also, Matt has siblings, and I have siblings. None of them have kids either, so we're not like aunts or uncles, uh, so but our siblings also live far away. Well, and my youngest brother, he's too young, he's still in college. Um, but yeah, so it's just like, we got time. No, like, our siblings aren't having kids. I have a bunch of cousins. Yeah, it's just I love kids. I love kids. I just don't know if I want my own yet. I totally get all those feelings. Yeah, I love kids. It's also nice to give kids back to their parents. You're not alone on your feelings on kids, Sam. Yeah, and I think today's world is just scary and stressful, and financially, right now I'm very thankful. I have my husband who has a great stable job, and I'm able to do live my life out the way I do. And I don't know if I would have to significantly change that for kids. So, yeah, I'm just being really transparent. Anti-life for that. Anti-life for life. Yeah, April's an amazing auntie. And I grew up with my mom's friends, and, like, my dad's friends, we called them aunt and uncle too, and I love that. I love being called that and having that label. Um, I am not called auntie by any of my friends' kids, but if they ever wanted to, like, I am here for that. 'Cause I love it, and I mean, even if my one brother did have kids, he lives in another state, so I wouldn't even get to see them that much. Um, but I love being around people who do have kids, and that's all the time. I'm like, "If you want my babysit, let me know." Okay, I am moving along. It's slowly getting there. I don't know how I feel about the one lavender strand. I don't know. It's we'll see how this goes. That's me, April, auntie vibes. Yeah. I would love to be an auntie, but it better not come from my younger brother, my youngest. Both my brothers are younger. I thought I would regret not having biological kids when I was in my early 20s, but I don't. I am definitely in a unique spot since I found my life partner in a man who already has kids. And I love that. Like, I love when people can be a step parent. And honestly, like, I don't even it's not that I don't like the term step parent. I like it, like, when people call them, like, bonus mom or bonus dads and bonus parents. Like, I love that. I love that because I think we all need those bonus aunties, though we need that community. So I am here for, like, building a good life for me and my husband and our pets, and if we can add that to friends' kids or our own kids and all that, that's what I want. That's what I want out of life, is just to have, like, a good community, and close family and friends that are family. Hi, Sam. Which, hey, Christina. I said that like I was saying your name was Sam, and I don't know. Now it's just awkward. I'm sorry. Just getting up, getting coffee, and hugging the like button. Thank you so much. Well, I'm glad that I'm still on, just chatting away. Okay, once I get this painted, I will probably go through with the fine tip acrylic markers because I think that's what really like adds that little detail that makes it cool, but I won't be able to do that until this is dry, which the way I'm talking, it probably will be, but I'm just gonna try to get this painted and then I probably should go work on other stuff. But I'm just having a great time with y'all. I love the lavender in particular. Does it look weird just by itself though? That's my only like I feel like when I see lavender, it's not just like one stalk, it's like a bunch. And now I'm like, I should have done that differently. I don't know. But it'll all come together. I am also blessed to have two nieces and two nephews, two in the same state, two in another. All six of those kids are my life. Yeah, I love that so much. That makes me so happy. Um, I'm just, like, picturing it all in my head. Like, you get to see some often, and then you can travel to see the other ones, and it's always fun when, like, family from out of state comes and visits, because like, it's, like, extra, because you when you get to see them, extra special. Speaking of which, Matt's mom and well, so my mother-in-law and one of my sister-in-laws are in Michigan right now, and we got to see them, um, the other day, and, like, I love it. I love that she has, my mother-in-law bought a cabin that's like an hour and a half, a little bit more than that away from us, and they're working on that this summer, so she's gonna be around a lot more. She moved to Florida, so we typically only get to see her like twice a year. We've been pretty fortunate now with Matt's new job, and I had a flexible job, and now my my job is very flexible, that we are able to see her a lot more, but his one sister, Sabrina, lives in Texas, and it had been, like, 2 years since I got to see her, and now we have seen her, like, 4 times in 1 year, and I love it. It's just so much more special and fun when you don't get to see them all the time, but I geographically live close to both sides of my family, like, less than an hour to, like, everybody. So, I'm very blessed where I get to see my family all the time, and while my family can be a lot, I like, they'll have stuff like, once a month, and to me, that's a lot for my social being. I love my family so much. Friends that become family are such a blessing. Yes, and I grew up with my, that's what I was saying earlier. My parents had friends that were so close that I still call them aunt and uncle. Like, I just they're like, "Oh, you don't have to say that, but I really appreciate that you do because they love it." And I'm like, "You'll always be my aunt and uncle." Like, I understand that technically you aren't biologically, but to me, you are because that's how they acted as that role in my life. I don't know if that was a bug or an eyelash. The lavender is cute. Keep it. Well, I don't know what I would do with it otherwise. So it's gonna stay, but I'm at the point where it's like, would I sell this? I mean, not right now. It's not done. Oh gosh. I needed this. I needed this, and I appreciate you guys so much for being here and supporting me and listening to me ramble about deep stuff, not deep stuff, all the things. Okay, I'm doing a cone flower right now. I love like the daisy and like cone flower look on flowers. Mm. Okay, so this is gonna be a white flower. Do I do a pink flower with a yellow center or a yellow flower with a pink center? Sorry, I'm asking you guys a bunch of so this is gonna be white, yellow flower, pink flower. You can leave an emoji because there is a pink flower and a yellow flower. I agree, the lavender is great. I don't think it looks strange at all. Okay, good. And I think once I get, like, the details drawn on there, it'll look a little better. Artists, we're our own worst critics. Okay. Um, I know, and I probably could have gotten a lot more done had I done sprints, but apparently I needed to talk. And even though I do sprints, I do like just being able to chat and hang with you guys too. So this is probably something I'll do maybe instead of doing sprints every maybe I just need to throw in lives too, like just one day a week or every other week. I still got to have stuff to talk about. My life's not that exciting. Maybe I'll like throw that in. I did post on my Instagram. Oh, that is something I wanted to talk to you guys about. On my Sparkasam Instagram, and I did a Sparkasam library. In my stories, I have a tentative schedule I would like to keep for the month of June. There's a lot more I would like to add to it, but that is what I'm committing myself to for this month. Now, uh, just so like if you're curious, like when I'm going live or what's going on in my life, I did put that on Instagram. So I feel like I'm slacking a ton with Instagram. I have a ton of Instagrams and I did it because everyone says you have to niche down. You need to, you know, pick one niche and then that's your niche. So if you have a bunch of niches, make different accounts. So I did that and I love it, but with how much I'm currently balancing, I just feel like I'm doing nothing. Um so if you don't know, I have my small business account, which is Willow Star Market. I have a Sparkasam, which is my crafty content. I have a Sparkasam library, is my book stuff. I have Willow Star Farms, which is my garden stuff. And then I have Once Upon a Sam, which is my Disney parks fandom page. I am struggling with that many and but I also wanna know what, like, you guys like. Do you like me having all those different accounts and you following what account you want to? Or would you not mind if I got rid of my book account and put it all my crafty and book account stuff on my Asparkasam? I haven't decided. It's just been something I've been thinking about. I feel like I'm not posting a ton of content on either. I try to keep up on stories, but then it feels like really repetitive to post the same stuff in stories on both things. Um, and I go by a Spark of Sam on YouTube and I do all my stuff. I do a Spark of Sam on TikTok and do all the stuff. So I'm like, really, is it that is it that weird to do everything on Instagram, or would people really prefer not? Because if people prefer it to be separate, I'll keep doing it. If you guys are okay with just less content sometimes, like my book stuff is hobby stuff. Um, my Once Upon a Sam stuff, that is all like hobby stuff. My garden stuff is just because I like doing it too. But my Asparka Sam trying to be like a content creator, I I am a content creator, but, like, trying to do that and influencing and stuff, along with my small business, like, those are my main focuses. So I just feel like I don't know. I feel like it's a lot trying to balance everything where I could just share my bookish stuff on a Spark of Sam Instagram, but then I also understand keeping them separate because I like to be able to see all my book stuff in one thing. I like to be able to see all of the my craft stuff together and not have it all blurred, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's just been something I've been going back and forth with. So, if you guys have thoughts, that would actually help me more than anything because I just am like, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Should I do it? Would people hate it? You know, let me know. Pink with yellow center. Yellow with pink center. Pink with yellow center. Y'all are as indecisive as me. Yellow. Well, you're 50-50, guys. Okay, maybe this'll help you. I get the niching down, but my ADHD brain is perfectly fine with things being all over the place. I know for me personally, I wouldn't niche down. Well, and that people say that you have to do it. But now I feel like people are so sick of being put in boxes that they don't want to niche down. And I mean, we just all change as ourselves. So niching down gets scary to me because my life has changed so much. I went from working in the agricultural industry as managing farms to being in sales to doing a side business to becoming an influencer for crafting to full-time small business to then full-time crafting and then now like I'm more into Disney stuff. Um like I'm also a pet mom and then now also like if I do have kids, my content will change again anyways. So to me, it's like, I don't know. And then it's so confusing because I'm a Sparkasam on here and I do everything. I'm a Sparkasam on TikTok and I do everything. But now all of a sudden I have all these accounts on Instagram. But Instagram is all about aesthetics. I'm also someone that's like, screw aesthetics and just love what you love because I can't pick. But I also appreciate good aesthetics, you know? This is my ADHD brain. This is how how I am. I follow all your accounts and would be fine whatever decision is best for you. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys who follow me on all the things and then don't get upset because I don't follow you back on unless it ties with it because I'm trying, it's so much. But I don't have Instagram, so I say whichever is easiest for you to keep up with. Yellow. Okay, we're gonna go with the yellow flower, pink center. Um, I follow Sam, so I like following all aspects of Sam. I think the niche down works to focus on a business, but it doesn't quite work for social media. Well, and that's the hard part too, because like in order to get brand deals, like it's more beneficial to have a niche because then those businesses can find you easier. But yeah, I feel like that's my thing is like I feel like I'm not a niche. I am all and, like, that's how I feel with people too, like, we are people, we are all these things. I would still, like I would keep my business like, my small handmade business stuff separate because that gets confusing. I would get people all the time like, "Are you selling that?" And it's like, "No, that's a small" like, that's or I would people would be like, "Are you selling it?" And I would say, "No, I am like, this is just a tutorial." Or then I would be selling something and people are like, "Well, I want a tutorial." And so I'm like, "Whatever, I'll just teach people all the things, and then if you wanna make your own, you can. If you wanna buy it, you can." So it's just been I don't know. People tell you one thing, but really you have to do what's best for you, and now I'm, like, not having regrets because 'cause I've met so many people by niching down, especially in the book community, but It's hard. I don't know, because 'cause I'm like, I don't know if I would regret going away from it. It's a lot. Also, how do you come up with your YouTube name? I sometimes toy with the idea of doing a YouTube channel, but it would be various things, writing, reading, weight loss, etc. See, I love that. I love that's a little of everything. Um, so originally my YouTube was Shell of a Shot Boutique. That was the name of my business before I rebranded. I also only had one account. I only had it all started on Instagram where was Shell of a Shop Boutique for everything. And then I became a full-time crafter. Uh so then I was like influencing and I had a small business as a side hustle. So then that's when all of this started. So I came up with a Spark of Sam, which this kind of goes with it all too. I came up with a spark of Sam because it's all the things that bring me joy that are a spark in my life. Um, and I picked it because my word of the year a couple years ago or last year, I still wear it. It was spark. I picked spark and then it ended up being one of the hardest years of my entire life where I had just lost my grandma. I had turned 30. I'd lost my grandpa on my other side. I lost my dog. I lost an uncle. I lost my job. I lost a lot of things. So trying to keep happy and finding things that speak to me, that bring me joy was the whole point of my name. But then I got into doing Bookstagram, which I love, and I love my community over there. And so then it was like a branch of a Spark of Sam. And then it became all these different things. But at the heart of it, a Spark of Sam is like me and things that I love. So that's where it also I'm like, I should just make it all one account and just rip the Band-Aid off before it gets more confusing. Ugh. I'm not gonna make any rash decisions. I'll probably take this month to really think about it, but that's currently where I'm at. And I might not even, like, get rid of my other accounts. I might just say, "Hey, I'm not posting on here anymore. Go follow my main account." Just in case, because I don't wanna miss, like, any people, and I wanna be able to follow all the people that I follow on all those niches. I'm not making any rash decisions right now, I'm just thinking out loud and with I appreciate feedback, and honestly, I do this stuff for me, but I also do this so I can connect with you guys, and whatever way is best to connect with you guys, I wanna do that too, and if that's niching down, then I'll do it. Or I have, and I'll keep doing it. To me, it's more about knowing your audience. I found you because you do similar crafts, but I will follow you because I like you. Thank you. Yeah, and trying and reaching your target audience is easier when you niche down. However, TikTok is changing like crazy. TikTok, people are listing off like 4 or 5 things, and it's more about who you are versus what's your one niche you wanna stick with, and I think that's why I really like TikTok. Like I said, I should do more on TikTok, but it just scares me and intimidates me on there. I don't know why. It's I most of the time I don't even care, but then I don't know. Anyways, so, yeah, I've been thinking about that with Instagram because I feel like I'm struggling. Instagram's like my home base. That's where I talk with everybody, that's where I chat with everybody. That is, like, by far the easiest form of communication is on Instagram. But I'm just like, maybe it'd be better to just do it on 1 versus 5. No, I would still have a couple. I would still have a couple. I would just not feel so strung out. I am not Anisha. I'm not. Do you guys see this? I'm Disney, I'm books. Sometimes I'm a little dark. I am a spooky girl. It's because I have an October birthday. I'm a country girl. I'm a cow girl. I'm a small town girl. I'm a cow lover. You can't see anything that I feel like I've lost a lot of my cow love lately, but I just don't get my cow love anymore. Um, because I don't work on farms and with farmers anymore. That's a great reason for your channel name. Thank you. That's because the problem I was having was, what's a name that encompasses everything if I am to change over time? And so a Spark of Sam is all these little things that bring me joy and that I could help you guys find. Like, you find out you like painting hats. We don't know. You just gotta try it. um, but what if I'm into painting this year and next year I'm into textured art? Or if the year after I get really into horses? Like, I don't know what life is gonna look like. If I do become a parent, I d- I cannot tell you if I would do kid content or not. I'm torn on my thoughts on what I would do with that because the world is a big scary place, but I have so many ideas. And then my ADHD is like I have all these ideas and I get overwhelmed and then I shut down. And so sometimes I just need someone to talk to. And I can tell you my husband is not that person to bounce ideas with because that man is the most supportive man. And sometimes I need him to be a little bit more direct on his helpfulness, you know? You know what I'm saying? Everything I say to him sounds like a great idea. And I'm like, "No, I need you to tell me what I should do." And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And I'm like, "Well, that's not helpful." But I also should just be asking you guys anyways, because you guys are my people. You're my audience. You're the ones who show up and like my content, like me, like our friendships that we've built. So I was silly. I should have just asked you guys first. Sorry that you had to listen to me for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Like I said, sometimes I get in these moods. I am not like this all the time. I'm actually, well, I don't know. I find like the people I'm close with, and I can be this way with people, but in general, I'm not like this to in front of a lot of people. I don't make sense. Exactly. If I do create a channel, I want it to include my name and also show a space for changing interest focus. Yes. The whole reason I did do like Willow Star Market too, because Shell of a Shot Boutique I came up with because I did ammo casing jewelry. Actually, this is one of my necklaces I've had for years and years. So this is out of an ammo casing jewelry. It's my small town little country girl. And so I would make it into jewelry. So shell of a shot made sense because it was the shell of ammo casings and it was a pun. Good, good. We love good puns. Um, and so it made sense. It was cute. But I don't do that anymore. Like, every now and then I'll do some stuff, but I got into tumblers, I got into book sleeves, I got into painting things, and so I rebranded Shell of a Shot Boutique into Willow Star Market because that kind of encompasses any of my handmade goods that I do. Willow Star, so a lot of you know I love Pocahontas, Grandmother Willow. I love her. She is one of my all-time favorite characters. But my grandparents have a giant willow tree in the front of their farm where I was pretty much raised. That's where Tucker lived. That's my heart and soul. It's my favorite place on earth. And so there's a giant willow tree there, and then there's a star. Well, there's two stars that my great grandpa made on the barn. So Willow Star Market is in honor of my roots and like my home soul is my grandparents' farm that I ended up getting married at because of COVID, and it's my heart and soul. So I wanted a name that encompassed anything I might do with handmade goods in the future that I sold. So Willow Star Market is that. I also have Willow Star Design. So, because I wanted my handmade goods to be separate than my digital work, I have two Etsy's. I only have one listing on Willow Star Design, but I'm hoping to change that. So, yeah. Okay, here's our little yellow flower. So I think what I'll do so it balances out is do pink and then pink for both the centers. If that sounds good to you guys. I'm back. Surprised yourself. I needed this. Y'all are my therapy session right now. I'm glad you had a nice walk. I'm assuming it's nice you're back. um, I was gonna go on a walk this morning and I just didn't get time, and now it's probably too hot for the dog, so we'll probably just like lay out outside, but allow not show and allow for yeah, okay. I understood your essence. It's so I misspeak all the time and I mistype, and I don't proofread my stuff, and I should because I'm really bad at catching things. But most of the time I can understand what you're doing because I will do that all the time. Human nature makes me think niching down is not actually beneficial long term. We are built to change through our life. So being more flexible makes sense to me. Exactly. Um, I think there's just so much pressure from like SEO, aesthetics, and I'm gonna blame Instagram here. I feel like Instagram, maybe not now, but they force people to have pretty pictures and now pretty videos and like pretty stuff. And if you want to find people that are like you, then you need to find that one thing. And yeah, you can find people that way, but it's also nice to see all layers of people too, you know? So I'm an introvert, but I love people. Actually, Maddie from this bookish cottage said this in one of her videos too, is she's an introvert, but she loves people. And that's how I am too. I'm a lot better at one-on-one. I think I'm good at lives because I'm just staring at a screen and like words. So it's not intimidating. If y'all were here in a room, I'd be intimidated. I spoke in front of thousands of people, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. I get stressed out. I overthink things and all the things. But at the basis of it, and what I'm trying to say is, I love people. I love learning about people. I love learning what makes people who they are. Like, I don't know if you guys followed Humans of New York on Facebook. I'm sure they're on other social media, but that's where I first found them. And it's just people telling of their lives. And I love that. I love knowing like what do people love? What do people hate? What do people like what makes them them? And so it's nice finding that you have that same thing in common or you like that about them. But I also like learning everything else, you know? Like, do you have pets? Do you have kids? Are you married? Are you single? Um, what kind of books do you like? Do you like dressing up? Do you like just wearing graphic tees all the time? Do you like wearing makeup? Do you not like wearing makeup? Do you like going to Disney? Do you not like going to Disney? Um, you know, I just like learning all the things. So, I don't know. That's Rambling Sam. Um, but I do get where the need you can I do get though sometimes you don't align every way with a certain person. And so sometimes that's hard because like they'll post certain things and you're like, eh, like that's not my favorite. But I think when you find people you really enjoy, you just want to support them no matter what, too. So I get it. I get it either way. Okay. I painted this. I feel like it might need, I don't know, was grass gonna be, I don't know how I feel about this. I think I'm gonna do yellow. I'm gonna do another layer of yellow. Just feel like the yellow, I like the yellow with this color. Okay. Add a little more depth to that. I promise it'll look better when I do that outline. But I agree with this so much to get back onto it. Yeah, we all change. I mean, from high school to uh whether you go to college, you don't go to college, you start working, and then you go from your early 20s to your mid 20s to late 20s to 30s and then on. I mean, you're always changing. And honestly, the only time I really don't get along with people is if they aren't changing. I don't do well with like people who don't want to learn more about new things, who don't want to try to be the best version of themselves without being like super harsh. Like, obviously, people go through hard times, but if you're not actively trying to be the best person you want to be to make yourself live the life that you want, I struggle with that a lot more than are you fitting my niche, you know? Um, that's something I talk about with my husband all the time is, you know, I I see how he wants to be a better person. I know I want to be a better person. And I think by learning about other people and what makes them tick and like fun little things about them, it opens your mind to the world and then you become a better person. You become a more mindful person. And that's just what I'm about. I'm about like maybe I don't even know my favorite thing yet. Maybe like I took a huge break from reading in my life because of my careers and now I love it. But who knows if I have kids, I might not be able to read very much. My friends tell me all the time that have kids. They're like, I haven't picked up a physical book in years. And that could change. And so it's like, what do I do if my whole life is built on this one thing? It's just kind of scary, you know? Especially because this is like my life now, and I would like it continue to be. It's cute, I love it. It's okay, now I feel like I almost need to go across the whole thing. I had a vision, and I just when it doesn't fit my vision, then I get hung up on it. I think I like it, but now I kinda wanna do the whole thing. I won't do that live, I know. I'm already, like, hitting, like it's almost 1:30. Ugh, I'm glad you guys love it. I'll definitely post the pictures on A Spark of Sam on my stories, um, when it's done. Well, and then if it I feel like it's good enough to sell, I'll put it on Willow Star Market, but I'll probably keep it for my vendor event, unless you want it. If you ever see anything that you want that I made, you're more than welcome to just, like, reach out. You don't have to wait till I get it listed either. Pretty. I do think it needs something in between. Grass, little shapes, diamonds, dots, something. Ooh, I like the idea of, like, just little shapes. Yeah, because, like, it just yeah, it needs something. I am very big into the splatter. If you have seen any of my thumbnails, I really like the splattered look. Um, I made this apron and I splattered paint all over it because I wanted it to have splatters. See? Um, but I know that's not everybody's thing. That's where also I'm like, I struggle with business because I wanna make stuff that I like versus what everybody likes. Um, but yeah, I could just do like a little leaf and stuff too, maybe. That's something if I just draw it on afterwards, it'll be good. I should have brought my other hats that I painted down. 'Cause that I did, like, cluster of roses. I'm just wanna play around with it, see what I like, but I do like the little daisy flower. I might do some on the brim of the hat where it's just, like, different things, I don't know. If you have kids, you may not have the time for personal reading, but you do get to read them and help them love reading, which to me is equally exciting. Yes, that is true. Maybe I won't be reading my thick fantasy series. I'll be reading kids books, which I do love kid books, and that's probably my favorite thing for my friends' kids. I love getting books for them. Um, because there are some good kid books out there, and a couple of my friends have been doing like videos for like kid books, and I love it. And I have one friend who she reads to her kids all the time. So if I can get them books, I'm all about that. But it's like, yeah, will I have time to post stuff about that? Do I want to? Maybe that's for me and personal, because you don't have to share everything on the internet either. But I just do. Huh, this may not go with the vision, but I just thought, are you able to paint bubbles? And on the other side, there could be a little girl blowing bubbles, an option. Ooh, that sounds really cute. I cannot draw people. That is, I can't. I'm more of a nature girly. Um, but I love that idea. It would be kind of cute. I could do like maybe leaves and like leaves or flower petals, leaves and like do like a uh Pocahontas Color of the Wind type thing across this side. That'd be cute. I'm getting it. I understand what you mean. I think I'm gonna sit with this one and think about I do kinda like if I take these colors and then do, like, a little swoop. Here, I'll draw it out with my erasable pen and see if I like the idea. See, I feel like I need to learn to talk while I do stuff, and that is a skill I need to figure out. Ooh, that's a good I've only got the idea because of you. I would have not been able to, do it without your idea. That's what I love, like, being on here too, because obviously, like, I had a vision, but it's not exactly what I was thinking, and then so you guys can ramble off stuff. Also, my stomach keeps growling like crazy, which is I know I need to go eat lunch. Good times. Okay, I'm just gonna sketch this out and we'll see because I don't have to commit to anything with this. Okay, I don't. Oh wow, I should have picked a different color. I'll do it in pink. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys had fun today. We talked about life things, some hard things, some fun things. I don't know when I'll do another live, but hopefully soon. If you guys do have TikTok, um, also if you okay, so if you have TikTok, please let me know. Because I might figure out what times work good for you guys on TikTok that have it, so that if I go live, I can be like, "Hey, can you come support me?" I am just so nervous. I don't know how any of it works anymore, but I really wanna go and do TikTok lives too. Okay. Can you kinda see that? Do we like that? Do we Are we understanding the vision? I kinda like that a lot, and it just pulls it, across the hat. Oh, sorry. I forget that it isn't always the clearest on here, so I'll go slow. I like that. Ooh, yes. Okay. We will go. Oh, I was gonna say, we will go until the 30 mark, but we're already there. Um, so oh gosh. I knew I was just in the chatty mood. I'll support you. Thank you, Laura. I technically have TikTok, but I never use it. maybe that's the best thing for you because I spend too much time on TikTok, and obviously, I buy a lot of stuff from TikTok now, but I love it. Ah, I love that. Thank you. Okay, I appreciate you guys helping me through this because I was kinda stressing because 'cause I'm like, "I don't there's something missing with it." Top of the hour. I know, can I talk for 30 more minutes? We know I can. Should I? That's the real thing. The problem is Matt's at work, um, so I have, like, all the time in the world, but also I do need to resin tumblers, and I can't do that. I can do that live, I can't talk then. That'd be see, everyone told me on TikTok I should just go live and show what I'm working on, but I can't talk, and people are like, "Oh, that's fine," because like, people do that on TikTok. TikTok lives are wild, man. There are some wild things on TikTok live. The ASMR stuff, crazy. But I don't know if I could do that. Like, w I know people play music and stuff on TikTok, but I don't know. I am a type of person that I don't like getting in trouble. So if I feel like I that would get me in trouble, I wouldn't do it. Even though everybody else does it and nobody else gets in trouble, I would be the one to get in trouble. That is like happens to me with everything, I swear. Um, and I have RSD. Sorry, I'm getting that. Yeah, rejection sensitive dysphoria. It's like a part of ADHD and all that kind of stuff. Um, I take criticism, like, and failure very hard. Which okay, when I say that, I actually like I appreciate constructive criticism, but if people are just being mean to be mean, I stress about that. But I stress about failure all the time to the point where I'll give myself panic attacks and stuff like that. So if I feel like I'm doing something wrong or incorrectly or against the rules, I get hecka stressed. Um, and that's a big reason why I hold myself back from a lot of things is because I don't wanna get in trouble. I also don't wanna feel like I'm failing. I mean, nobody feels likes to fail. I mean, I get that, but I just get super overwhelmed by it all. Um, I love that we're having our little Pocahontas moment here. Colors of the Wind is seriously one of, like that song is sticks with me so much, and I think that goes into, like, learning about other people and other cultures and other lifestyles. I lived in a very small town and, did not get to see a lot of the world until I was older, and so then getting to see a lot of the world, I just love it. I love learning about other things and, um, how people grew up. Like, my mom has an Airbnb, and she gets so blown away at how different people, like, clean. Like, some people will do things like they'll fold their sheets a certain way, or they'll leave everything, or they'll fold it up and put it on the bed, and it just like my mom, she's just like, "It's so weird how, like, some people do this," and I'm like, "It's just people." Think we forget, like, how easy it is to be different and how many people there are, and not everyone does everything the same. But even, like, when it comes to what was I was just talking about with Matt. Well, I mean, just Matt will make the bed. I grew up, that didn't matter. Didn't have to make the bed. But Matt makes the bed and he likes the bed to be made. So now we make the bed. And it's something that I'm like, whatever. But it's so crazy how it's like ingrained into you or it's not. And I just think it's so fascinating. That's me, Sam. I shy away from anything that might possibly get me in trouble. Even if everyone else does it, I'm like, "Nope, don't wanna risk it." Yeah, I'm the type of person that's like, "Oh, if everybody else jump off the cliff, would you too?" I'm like, "Would they get yelled at?" Because if they did, I wouldn't. Okay, this is crazy. I had friends who used to sneak into the school when it was closed to play hide and go seek in the dark. I could never. I could never. Could never. And they're, like, well-behaved kids, like, they weren't troublemakers, they didn't do any damage. Why did they wanna do it? I don't know. I could never do it. I thought they were insane. Also, who wants to go back to school on their day off? Like, come on. I loved school, but I didn't wanna go back there when I didn't have to be to hang out. Um, so, yeah, and, like, there are people that are rejection sensitive, like, all of it. Nobody likes to fail, nobody likes to get well, I think my husband likes to get in trouble. We very different people. He, like he didn't care if he for example, he didn't care if he was late on a bill, he's like, "Whatever, I paid it." I forgot to pay one of our bills. I don't ever forget. And I just literally time went by so fast that I didn't realize what day it was and I was late on a payment. I had a full blown on meltdown. Um because it didn't even like affect our credit, didn't like I didn't even have to pay a late fee. But I paid it late and it stressed me out so much. And Matt is like, "You're fine." And I'm like, "No, I am not fine. Like, I am not okay." I don't know. And it's also nice knowing there are people like that out there and it's not just me. It's also nice knowing that not everyone is like me because oh my gosh, then the world would not go at all if we all were like me. I love the saying, like, "It takes all kinds to make the world go round." I think Miranda Lambert has a song like that, and I love that. I love that people are different because 'cause it'd be so incredibly boring if we were all the same. I know that's such a cliche thing to say, but it's so true. I mean, playing hide and seek in an empty school would be fun. If we were allowed. Yeah, it's not if you're potentially getting in trouble, like, if they got caught, I'm sure the cops wouldn't have, like, done anything, but they could have. Like, I don't know. And then, like, the one time I TP'd somebody, I got caught. It was not my fault either. Um my friend left our backpack, and we had to go back and get it, and then we were caught. But that made for a heck of a good story and a fun time. I don't know. I just I can't get in trouble. It's weird. Just how I tick and how I work. That was a fun little random tangent, but okay, I'm almost done with this. And then I'll show you guys, and then we'll wrap up. Um, my mom was a teacher at my school, so I was often in school when no one else was. Okay, yeah, you totally were probably used to it. Um, I had friends who had parents that were teachers, and I remember being there on or like going there and hanging out with them in the summer before school started again, and you would just hang out. I would hang out in their mom's classroom, and it's different, and I'm sure it would be fun. I just the fear of getting in trouble, I could never. Um, I could never. But, okay, this just needs, like, a little more coats. Sorry that I did not get, like, a lot done. I am not good. I have to do something really, really simple, and this was a little bit more complex, but So there it is. So there's some of them I didn't color in. I just feel like it'd be a little too much, but I really kinda like that. It's a little whimsy. I'm all about a little whimsy. But I think when I do a black outline or, like, a dark blue, I'll probably do black or white. We'll see. But when I do the outline, that's when I feel like I can add all the little details and it looks really cute then. So, like, this is just the base. That looks awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for your help. See, it's time to go. um, I almost lost it when I was in my 20s and a cop stopped while I was taking pictures of trees someone else had TP. Thankfully, he believed me when I explained what I was doing. That would scare me. um, Thanks. Yeah, fun fact, so the dairy farm that I managed outside of, when I got done with college, the owner was a state trooper. So, I felt like well, that was the thing. So my cat's name was Mary Jane. I did not name her. Mary Jane is what Matt's mom named her, and apparently it's because of, like, the previous owner liked to smoke weed. Um, which I'm like Casey Musgraves. If you wanna smoke it, smoke it. If you don't, you don't. Whatever. I don't care. But she named her Mary Jane from that. So when I'm telling my boss at the time, who's a cop, about my cat, I was like, "Oh yeah, Mary Jane." I was like, "That's just her name." Because it wasn't legal at Michigan at the time. It is now. Um, I would just call her MJ to so many people because I didn't want people there's such a like a stigma with it and I didn't know if people like it, if people don't like it. So that's why I never really talked about Mary Jane because it's my cat. It was my cat. um, but yeah, I just weird things like that. It's so cute. You guys are really sweet. It's not my favorite. Um, I definitely feel like if I do a white cap, I feel like I can find a color palette I really like, but I think it's whimsy. I don't know if anyone would buy it. We'll see. But you never know. And that's why even if you're not a big fan of it, someone else might love it. So, okay. I'm done rambling, I swear. I need to go eat. I need to go check on my pups. Probably go sit outside and read for a little bit. And then I need to actually zone out and get working on some stuff. But thank you guys so much. I really needed this today. And I feel like the whole weight is just off my shoulders. I feel like not only was I able to do something that I told myself I was going to do, I just feel like sometimes telling you guys what's going on makes it feel okay if things don't go as planned, you know? So, I'm thankful for all of you guys. I appreciate you so much. I'll keep you updated on what I think about my Instagram and all that, but it's going to take me a couple weeks to process. Until next time, guys, I will see you later.